This day will never be forgotten, the 6th of March 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully get their independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana, we wish to proclaim, we will be jolly, merry and gay, the 6th of March, Independence Day.
Akwaba, and welcome to Expat Life Ghana. I'm Ayo and this is Tony, and we're documenting our move from Texas to Ghana. In this video, we're talking about the 10 things we love about Ghana.
But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. For me, number one, the people. The people are a proud people, the Ghanaian people are. When they welcome you, you feel the love. They welcome you with a welcome home, my American brother or sister. And I love that because it made me feel at home everywhere I went, hearing that welcome. It was indescribable. I think I appreciate it in Ghana.
Yeah, and I think that you appreciate that more when you come from one of the Western countries where you just literally,
it's everything is fast.
Everything, all the time, all the time.
Number three, the history of Ghana.
Accra is the capital city of the nation Ghana. It's a gateway to the country, and it's also the melting point of whatever happens in the country. It's the hub of business, the informal and the formal business. And within the inner city, the main trading is the informal business, like the Mokola, the Okanshi, the Abublushi, Akwasiajasu. These are large markets that houses a lot of trading activities that turns around the economy of Accra. The life of the people, so welcoming and very buoyant, and like to have a feel of what life is about. So it makes every visitor that comes to Accra so exciting to stay. And best of it is the cuisine, the kenke and the fish. And
Dr. Nkrumah went out his way to make the Gold Coast what it is today.
Today we're talking about 10 things we hate about Ghana. Yeah. Number 5 for me is the class divide, or it's not the poverty, it's the class divide. It really is. It's this whole thing of you can go to Accra Mall and go to the pizza place and spend like 250 CDs on pizza and sodas, and the person that you are paying at home to come and take care of your lawn for an entire month might be 250 CDs. So this whole thing of like, it just creates such a division of class. Like you are either really so heavily the haves or the have-nots, and there's so little in between. It just, I don't know, it feels a little dirty.
Yeah. Okay, number 10.
Number 10!
It's not the cleanest place. There are parts where they keep for tourism and just people are just conscious of just trying to keep things clean, but for the most part there's a lack of overall let's keep Ghana clean. You know, people throw their water bags out or whatever trash there is. Ghana,
and I think too, like, there's so much plastic.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to the market and the lady in the market's going to put every single thing into a plastic bag and then tie it and then put it in another plastic bag.
Right.
And then if you get 2 or 3 things, then that bag is going to go into another
bag
plastic
and another
bag.
plastic bag. There's plastic is everywhere. It's clogging up their waterways and things, and it's just
rolling up on the beaches.
Yeah, on the beaches. And they have beautiful beaches. We'll talk about that later, but you know, just to see the trash in some of the ravines that carry the wastewater back, it's just plastic garbage everywhere. And I shouldn't say everywhere, but a lot of places.
It's kind of, I feel like
everywhere.
everywhere. I mean, like, you have to be proactive in your own area, on your own property, to clean up. And businesses also do that kind of process of cleaning up to make sure that they're presentable for customers. But if they didn't do that, this stuff will be everywhere.
The City of Accra is proud to launch our climate action plan aligned with the objectives of the Paris Agreement following years of hard work and stakeholder inputs. Like Ghana, the City of Accra is already 1 degree Celsius hotter on average due to global warming. This is because greenhouse gas emissions trap solar energy in the atmosphere, acting like a blanket around the earth. There are different types of greenhouse gas emissions, so when measuring emissions, everything is converted into tons of carbon dioxide equivalent, a type of universal climate currency. In the year 2015, activities in the City of Accra, such as driving, cooking, and consuming energy, emitted 2.3 million tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. Of this, waste contributed 44%, transportation 30%, and energy in buildings 26%. Average temperatures could rise another 2 degrees in Accra by 2050, with more extremely hot days. Sea level rise of another 20 centimeters by 2050 means major loss of coastline, potentially up to 150 meters inland in some vulnerable areas. That's why Accra is acting on climate.
He endeavored continually to bring us freedom and liberty. Ghana is the name.
So, sanitation and hygiene is not simply a matter of health. It is also a fundamental social, economic, and human right. One of the strongest advocates of the Sanitation Hygiene Fund is the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed. She explains why it plays a critical role in helping to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
Thank you, Zainab, and this is great for us to be able to address these issues, particularly on water and sanitation, close to my heart. How are we doing? Before COVID, we were falling short, and now with COVID, these issues around the SDGs have been exacerbated, and making sure that everyone had access, everyone had a right to aspire to the goals that we have. And this has not happened, in particular with COVID, showing those inequalities for women, for youth, the informal sector. Vulnerability is not just a question of the poorer countries, it's also become a big issue with our middle-income countries. We can see that the COVID pandemic has created many opportunities for us to respond now with hope of a better recovery to get back on track with the SDGs.
So, Deputy Secretary General, just spell out for us what steps are needed to move the needle on this.
I think the first step is to move the needle on trying to get, in this decade of action, to the SDGs, is an acknowledgement and implementation of a global response. This is because we're seeing that with COVID, it went beyond the health crisis to the socioeconomic impacts that we're seeing country after country.
It's tied to performance, it's tied to measurable performance, so that it's not just, aid at large. It's the sort of aid that spurs performance and spurs achievement. So we're very excited about it, and we're looking forward to accessing it.
So the Vice President of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo, they're clearly demonstrating the government's support for this new fund. So let's tell you a bit more about the new Sanitation and Hygiene Fund. Well, it's based in Geneva, Switzerland, and its executive director is Dominic O'Neill. Now, he's had extensive experience working in the development field across continents and has great expertise in fund management and innovative finance.
Over the last 25 years, I've lived and worked in places where vulnerable people and children are dying from diseases that are entirely preventable. I've also seen firsthand the solutions to these challenges. They are often as simple as a bar of soap, a well-managed latrine, or basic hand-washing point. Today, everybody knows that in the face of a deadly disease, washing hands is people's main line of defense. We see it again with the COVID pandemic. In many places, masks are too expensive or too hard to find, and social distancing is impossible. So proper hand washing is the only protection that people have left against the disease. Given we know that the proper sanitation and hygiene are the best protection for dozens of diseases, isn't it truly shocking that progress in this area has been so painfully slow?
We will be jolly, merry and gay, the 6th of March, Independence Day.